All right, guys, what's going on? We are back on Final Fantasy 14. Let's hit it. We're going the wrong way. So the whole goal for the next couple hours is to try to move the main story quest in the right direction, because most of the unlocks is tied to that early game. So we're going to hit it. We're just going to see what we can get done. I'm not really in a rush to finish the game, so I just want to take my time, get the experience of the game. Not trying to do a fate right now. That's the person I'm looking for. Batteron sent you out here, did he? Then consider yourself welcome at the skylift. Look at the bloody cliff, will you? One blast of fury hell from that used dragon was all it took to split the ground in half. Cargo still needs to get through, so this mess of wood and pulleys was our solution to the problem. Well, one of them at least. If the gods were kind, and they ain't, I'd have about a dozen more workers to handle me growing list of headaches. Okay, let's see. Glad I am to see you again, lad. Hey, a wagon driver just returned in a great bloody hurry, screaming about some monstrosity that sprang out of a million corn seedling in his cargo. What the hell? Seems the gutless guy tossed it over the side before turning tail and running for his life. I need you to head down the road, recover the seedling, and deliver it to Lyle over at Swift Perch in western Ladnoska. Whatever he pays you for the cargo is yours to keep. After all, I don't rightly know what else is lurking inside that plant, and you deserve to be rewarded for your troubles. Oh, and you'll find an aetheryte in Swift Perch, so the journey should be worth your while. at those giant crabs, boy. It'll be so nice once I finally unlock a chocobo mounts. The million corn seedling. As Nymeria herself forsaken this desolate land, though I understood there were risks in gambling my entire fortune on a crop of million corn, at least I expected the seedling to be delivered before disaster struck. Is that my million corn seedling? O joyous day it may seem. A paltry beginning, but the yield of this particular variety of crop plant is nothing short of astonishing. As you have undoubtedly noticed, Swift Perch lacks a certain, shall we say, vital energy. Thus, I mean to restore a modicum of hope to its residents by growing a veritable ocean of corn. You, sir, seem fit to burst with a vim and vigor. Might I persuade you to abide a while and help nurture this ailing settlement? Doing level 10 missions, by the way, and I'm level 19. You there, adventurer, cast your eyes towards the brewer's beacon. Does the light not shine? Does the light not seem uncommonly weak? Cannot possibly be bright enough to guide the ship sailing in the bay, or to march over to the lighthouse to investigate myself, but I am duty bound to remain at my post. I would consider it a favor if you could make it a visit to the Brewer's Beacon and see if aught has befallen Consway's the lighthouse keeper. I know I'm butchering some of these words, by the way. Alright, so let's go check out the lighthouse. Okay, Mr. Khan, let's see what's going on with you. See a yellow jacket sent you here, eh? My light's grown dim, has it? Well, of course it bloody has. The bomb what fuels me furnace has up and buggered off. You see, if I don't get that beacon fixed up soon, there's going to be trouble on the water. I know you're just a messenger lad, but I can tell you're an adventurer when I see one. I'm going to need you to chase down the bomb and bring back a claw what you ripped from its smoldering corpse. Take this here iron brazier and set her down in the middle of the flock somewhere near the scarecrow. You get a nice fire going, and that frisky bomb will soon be about. Watch you don't send your eyebrows. Okay. This don't sound terrible. I do like the music a little bit, though. Music's kind of cool. Alright, you got it. Once I put this little firecracker in the furnace, that should keep things running for a while. I had myself a bit of a look while you was gone. Eliminating cursed me if the furnace weren't all bent and broken. Small wonder the bloody bomb was able to escape. I patched things up best I could, but I ain't no Smitty. You might want to have a chat with that yellow jacket friend of yours, the Swift Perch, and have him pass the word back to someone in Limsa. Okay. Playing messenger. Furnace is damaged, is it? Very well, I shall write up the relevant reports, but these repairs must needs to be effected without delay. Seems I have another favor to ask of you, adventurer. Take yourself straight away to the Armorers Guild in Limsa and explain the situation to Forge Master Hazana. I don't know. Okay. Quick trip back. I'm guessing it's upstairs. Let's see, do I have that one? Yes. What's that sound? I don't know what that music was for. Furnace in the Brewer's Beacon needs repairs. Buyer God's beard. I just sent someone out to tinker with it. Not a week past. Mayhap the bomb Cansways had trapped in there was a torch touch too volatile. I'll have an artisan visit the lighthouse to pay special attention to reinforcing the casing of that furnace. Your work is done here, adventurer. May the navigator guide you on your journey. What say you to taking on some work from Nautilus and Vimeli? We have a great hulking warship to build and could certainly use an extra hand for any number of tasks. For your first job, I need you to run a missive over to Hotburn and the head shipwright at the Morby dry docks. We forge most of the ship's bits and pieces here at the Armorers Guild. Actual construction takes place at the dry docks found in the south of Lower Lanasica. There's also where you'll find the main offices of Naldic, Wick, I can't say it, and Vimeli's. The Morby Dry Docks is one of Limsa's most important districts, at least as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you'll not regret attuning yourself to the area's aetherite. You've no confidence in your sense of direction. You'd be best served making use of the Chocobo Porter's first floor of the mizzen mast, in case you were wondering. Should you choose to make the trek on your own 2 feet, leave the city through the Tempest Gate and follow the road south. May the navigator guide your steps. Okay. That's the Tempest Gate. Okay. This is a bit of a walk. All right, we need to tune ourselves to the Aetheryte, and then we gotta find this dude that we're supposed to talk to. You have a missive for me from Forge Master. I assume it pertains to the pending arrival of the materials ordered over a moon pass. Let's see it. Blast and botheration. Another delay. I am well aware of the shortage of skilled artisans, but this is insufferable. My apologies, the messenger does not deserve to bear the brunt of my frustration. Might I have your name? This proud maiden you see take a shape before you is the Victory, our first new vessel to grace the docks since the Calamity. It's a big ship. We may have lost the bulk of our ships that fateful day, but starting with this beauty, we will restore the Maelstrom's fleet to its former glory. The Victory is more than a simple warship. It is the symbol of Limsa's rebirth from the wreckage wrought by the coming of the seventh Umbral era. Thus, we are striving to complete our construction as swiftly as possible, even going so far as to hire veteran shipwrights from outside the whatever. Yet, even with such unprecedented measures, there are never enough hands to handle the abundance of tasks. Should you choose to linger at the docks for a time, there is no end of odd jobs for our hard-working adventurer. Be you fair warned, there is no place here for layabouts and troublemakers. Okay. We're on level 12 quest now. And we're almost level 20. Where in the seven hells is that man? Not once in 12 moons has he been late with a shipment. And now 2 whole turns of the sun without a single word. A shipwright of mine, the young man named Phyllis Mead, recently left Candlekeep Way to retrieve crates of supplies ordered from Limsa, but has yet to return. I've sent several missives to Albroda, but his replies are always the same. He does not recall ever seeing the writ, nor the supplies he was scheduled to collect. That man knows something, and I severely doubt he is telling me the whole truth. As I cannot leave my post, I would ask you to travel to Candlekeep Way in my stead and inform Hal Broda that if he insists on playing these games, I will personally see that he is transferred to Turtleback Island, where he can ride along in the middle of the sea for eternity. Okay. I'm a little confused. Oh, okay. Turtleback Island, he cannot do that, can he? I swear on my poor Nana's grave, Navigator rest her soul. I know not of this Phyllis Mead nor his precious supplies. Hells, we here at the quay have had enough trouble these past few suns, what with the sinking of that Lemosian cargo ship off the Salt Strand. I haven't the time to take a proper piss, let alone make a note of every scrag that wanders in off the grip. Okay. Now, the way I see it, if you have time to be standing here questioning my character, then you most certainly have the time to get that arse of yours down to the Salt Strand and help us search for survivors of the wreck. Who knows, you may just run across the Phil's Mead everyone seems so eager to find. Here's to hoping the Navigator hasn't found him first. You say the foreman's wondering on me whereabouts. I thought he might be, but you must know I cannot show me face at the dry docks until I've righted the terrible wrong I've caused. 2 nights past, I made the trip from the dry docks to Candlekeep Quay, just as the foreman asked. The seas were right rough, and the captain of the cargo ship was wary of bringing her close to the cliffs, so I paid a few extra coins to a fisher to take me out to meet her. By the time we was halfway ashore in a ship, the swell had risen nigh to 10 yalms, and 'twasn't long before the waves had a hold of us. Try as we might to steady the boat, nature's grip was too tight, and we was plugged headlong into the Lemosian galley. When I awoke, both ships were gone, and the cargo I was to collect lay strewn across the Salt Strand. I made every effort to salvage it, but the sands are crawling with Gregorin, and I ain't one with a sword. And now you see why it is I cannot return to the dry docks. They got us doing busy work right now. Okay, old dude. Here's your stuff back. At night, I was tossed in the sea like some doll of rags, and it weren't long before the water around me had faded to black as I slipped deeper into the abyss. Lo, the navigator wouldn't see me to the gates of the seven hells. I woke to find myself washed ashore, and here I've been since, waiting for a chance to salvage me master's cargo. The missing parts, I don't know how I can repay you. I'll deliver the supplies right away, but first I must stop by the quay so that I might pay my respects to the widow of the brave fisher who gave his life for a handful of coin. Could you tell Alt Dim that I'll be back to the dry docks by nightfall? Many thanks, adventurer. I will not forget this kindness. I am relieved to hear that both Phil's meat and supplies are unharmed, though it was foolish for him to believe that I would blame him for that which was obviously out of his hands. You see, there was no storm that day, and the seas were adjacent to the dry docks, were as calm as the slumbering child. This leads me to believe that the troubles the ship encountered off Campbell Quay was less of a natural sort, the sort of which the Sahagin have been known to conjure. We're up to level 13 quest now, yay! While I originally had doubts about your motives, you have repeatedly proven yourself an asset to Aldwick and my Mellies. I still do not like you, but that does not mean I do not trust you. What the hell? What did I do to you for you to not like me? Butthead. Grim Thoda, head of the watch here at the dry docks, believes that pirates may be plotting an attack on the Victory, and she requires assistance investigating a group of unsavory individuals making camp nearby. I have recommended you for the task. Despite all Olympsa endured before, during, and following the calamity, the fact is that they are still those who turn their backs on the city-state so that you might line their pockets with a few handful of coin. Just the thought of it sickens me. Yay? Ah, yes, I had a feeling that you'd be the one hot damn set since you first arrived at Morby Dry Docks. I've had my men watch you. Oh, there's no need to get angry. I make a point to keep an eye on all those new to the area. It is simply protocol. Please know that nothing incriminating was found. You appear to be a model citizen. That and the foreman seems to think somewhat highly of you, which you must admit is quite shocking. The man doesn't even trust his own mother. Very well then, I assume Otburn informed you that your task would entail the pirates we believed are conspiring to raid the dry docks were last seen making camp near an ancient stone called the Mark of the Spinner. I would have you approach the men posing as a lost adventurer and see if you can somehow learn their intentions. Sanago, stationed at the rear gates, can provide you with the exact location of the camp.